Hello, my name is James, and welcome to the Live Visit application training for the Provider Account module. Provider accounts are manually created in the Assistant module, which is covered in another training. The provider will log in at their login page at your subdomain.mdlivevisit or therapylivevisit.com, provide a username or email address, and their password. If they forget their password, they may click on the Forgot Password link, which will take them to a page asking a security question and expecting a security answer, which they had already provided. If the correct answer is given, the provider will receive an email with a randomly generated password. When both username and password are correct, the provider simply clicks Connect to go to their home page. The provider homepage includes a greeting for the provider, 6 icons on the left-hand side, and some information on the right-hand side. Let's look at the right-hand side first. The top line displays how many appointments are scheduled for the provider. The second line shows how many messages are unread. And the third line displays how many SOAP notes need to be completed. Now let's take a look at the 6 icons on the left-hand side of the page. Let's start with the My Account icon, since this is where the provider should go on their first login. Providers can change their username here to something more personal or memorable, and they should also check all of the information down the page to make sure that it's accurate. They should also look at the security questions and provide an answer. This will allow them to retrieve their password if they lose it. Click Save. They will then be taken to a second account settings page. On this page, the provider can upload a photograph, and they can upload their CV. We must caution you that this CV is public, so any patient logged into the system searching for a provider can see that CV. Providers can also add education information by entering it in this text box and clicking Add Education. They can add specialties by clicking on Add Specialty and going through the drop-down box with the various specialties. Once one is chosen, they can click Submit. Providers can also enter information about the languages that they speak and what hospitals they may work at. Once this is completed, we click Finish, and the information will be updated. Providers also need to download the Live Visit software in order to conduct sessions. This is also found in the My Account settings area. This installation must be done once on each computer that the provider plans to use. Simply click on the Download Now button. When the software has finished downloading, open the file and click Run. Click Install. When installation has completed successfully, a video test will begin. Click OK and wait for the video screen to appear. It is ideal to have a webcam installed and active when you begin the video test, but it is not essential. You may run this test without a video cam installed. Once you have run a successful video test, you may return to the home page. Okay. Let's take a look at the Message Center. The Message Center is a highly secured email system where providers can share information with patients behind several layers of encryption. Providers can view messages received from the system about their appointments or from patients. They can also view messages that they've sent to patients. Providers can send messages to their patients by clicking on Consultation Follow-up, selecting the patient, entering a subject, and entering information in the body of the email. When the provider clicks Send, the patient will receive an email in their message center in LiveVisit. The patient will also receive a generic message in their personal email inbox, letting them know that they have an important message on the LiveVisit application message center. When a provider wants to view information about a certain patient, they may go into the patient search area. Here they can search for a patient by name, or the patient they wish to view may be listed on the right-hand side of the page under Recent Consultations. The provider simply clicks on the patient name and is taken to a page with all of the basic information. Here they can also view health history, activity history, and any records that have been uploaded by the provider or the patient. Providers can keep track of all of their consultations by clicking on the consultation history icon. Here, patients are listed chronologically in reverse pertaining to their session time. You'll notice that in each patient area, there are two icons. The View Profile icon will take you to the patient's profile information that we just saw, and there will also be a Create Soap or View Soap icon depending on whether or not a soap needs to be created. If the Create Soap icon is available, we need to create a soap. This very simple template allows providers to create soap notes quickly. The provider can choose to provide a diagnosis or make the note informational only. If a diagnosis is needed, simply click in the text box and begin typing a diagnosis. As you type, more detailed choices will appear. When you find your diagnosis, click on it and then click Add, and your diagnosis is saved. Click the Save button and your soap note is completed. We can see this by going back to the consultation icon, and we can see View Soap instead of Create Soap. Providers do not schedule appointments through their own account. They schedule availability. During their available time, patients can schedule appointments with them. To schedule availability, providers go to My Calendar, select the date, any date on the left-hand side in the calendar, scroll down to the time that they desire, and click on it. The time clicked appears in the Start Time window. To change the end time, click on the box and scroll down to the desired end time. Click Create Availability, and a box will appear in the calendar displaying the provider's availability. Providers can view their own availability by month, week, by the day, and by the next 4 days. When a patient schedules an appointment with this provider, it will display within the available time and state video appointment with name of patient. This concludes the LiveVisit application training for the provider module. For further sales support, please contact Sheila Smallwood, and for technical support or training, contact Joyce Espana or James Heller. Thank you for joining us.